What is up, people? Let's get it cracking one time. Let me show you something real quick. Let's start over. What y'all know about this? Yeah. What y'all know about that? Yeah. Yeah, we'll get back to that in a minute. Hold on. Back to another episode. I can't stop jamming. What up? You are tuned in to another episode of Crown and Conversation. Today, I got to get something off my chest. We're talking about Shedeur Sanders getting slighted in the draft, sliding all the way down to a 5th round pick. We're going to hit on Shannon Sharpe being hit with $50 million lawsuit over some wild sexual allegations, and the bigger truth about how young men, especially black men, are programmed from jump to chase sex, money, and status. Let's talk about Shedeur Sanders real quick. I've been watching this unfold for a minute. I predicted this a long time ago. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I used to clown him. I thought he was just overhyped, rich kid, living off his daddy's name, flexing watches and designers. Ain't really did nothing to boast and brag as much as he has. He's been put in a position, he's been spoon fed. These are the things that I said from my personal opinion of watching him from Jackson State all the way up into CU and just seeing him emerge as one of the top quarterbacks and seeing him in the persona that he gives off in the media. I've always been one of those people that said he's too cocky. He's living and he's vibing off his daddy's vibe. But here's what's crazy. That same confidence, that same primetime swagger that Dion brought, that made Dion legendary, it's now being used against Shedeur. He's arguably one of the top quarterbacks in college football last season, in the season before, but he slides to 5th round draft pick. But the boy produces. I don't care how much you hate on him, the boy produces. So let's not act like this is about talent. This is about perception, character, image, and ego. And honestly, this isn't about race in a traditional sense. It's not, he's a black quarterback. That used to be the issue. But now it's almost like he talks too much. He's flashy. He's not humble enough. There's no doubt in my mind that Deion Sanders raised some strong men, strong sons with a lot of confidence, leaders, but I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it 100. That me first energy, it don't always translate well into NFL locker rooms where team camaraderie and unity and togetherness and the team aspect of it takes forefront over your ego and who you are. Where grown-ass men are in the locker room trying to win games, trying to win a Super Bowl, not just build up their brand. I used to see Shedeur as cocky. Now, I just see a young man that knows his worth, and that's scary to people, especially if you're this color. This watch is $20 at K&G Fashion. Go pull up, pick it up, and you too can floss like Shedeur. Now let's pivot a little bit to Shannon Sharpe. Big Onk. He has been one of my favorite personalities. I have to admit that when the little sex tape was released, he lost some points with me. I felt like that was a stunt. I think he was trying to get ahead of the gay rumors and bring some attention to himself and to his podcast and all that type of stuff. So he pulled some type of stunt. And I wouldn't be surprised if this new $50 million lawsuit was some type of stunt as well. But anywho, Shannon Sharpe is in the headlines again because some woman is suing him for $50 million, claiming she was manipulated into a sexual relationship with him. Now, I don't know the full truth, and I ain't here to play judge and jury, but this lawsuit, true or not, taps into something deeper. How men are taught to chase sex like it's a prize, like it's part of the lifestyle, especially black men, especially men in power. We grow up thinking, get the bag, get the girl, then you've made it. That's the American dream, right? That's the lie. That programming, it don't just come from rap lyrics. It's rooted in some deep historical trauma. Back in slavery, black men were literally used to breed slaves, and sometimes even to entertain the slave master's wife. And that twisted dynamic has never really left. It just became more commercialized. So now when you see a black man with a white woman on his arm, society will say he made it. He must have some money. And don't let the dynamic to be he's older man and she's younger. Now, this is not just a black thing. There's plenty of high power men that have, look at Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is in his 70s, and his girlfriend that he's been parading around is in her 20s. So it's not just a black thing, but it's kind of just predominantly a stigma that is held over black man's head and used when it's convenient to bring him down. The illusion of status and success being tied to what kind of woman you can pull turns sex into currency and into power. But what happens when the world flips that power on you? What happens when sex becomes the weapon? That's what Shannon Sharpe is dealing with right now. And even if he's innocent, the perception alone might just cost him everything. And that's the danger of being over-sexualized and underprotected. That's what they don't teach us growing up. This goes deeper than football, deeper than the media. This is about manhood. We raise young men to be hungry for all the wrong things. Status over substance, ego over empathy, sex over connection, fame over family. And then we wonder why men crash and burn when the spotlight gets too hot. No one ever tells us, yo, it's okay to be still. It's okay to build slow. It's okay to not chase every woman, every dollar, every trend that's out there. They just say, be a man. But what the hell does that even mean in a world that only values you for entertainment and money? So yeah, Shedeur fell in the draft, and Shannon might beat the case or he might lose everything. But the message to the young ones listening, you're more than your followers, you're more than your clout or who you're sleeping with. You don't got to perform manhood for nobody. Define it yourself. Be solid. Be disciplined and watch how your life changes. That's the game behind the game. That's my TED Talk. We out.